Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Arks of Omen's campaign casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a best of 3 in Ultimate Apocalypse, with the first game being on Under Siege. On the bottom side we've got me playing as the Orks, and on the top side we have got Tiger Shark playing as the Chaos Space Marines. Tiger Shark will be opening up with a couple of Cultists, a Heretic and a Chaos Temple, as I will be opening up with triple Slugger Boys, a Grot Squad and a Boys Hut. So as always, Arks of Omen, a bunch of stuff going on in the story for this, but we'll save all that till the very end where Carl Franz can read it to you in his wonderful, sultry turn. But yeah, so we've done a best of 3 here, and we've decided to do it all on a bunch of maps that you don't normally see. Under Siege is probably not a brilliant map to do things on, mainly because you've got your 4 listening posts around these parts, a big open area in the middle of just one relic and 2 critical locations. People don't tend to play it, but you know what, we thought, well, if it's just me and old Tiger, why not explore and stuff? We've got a Black Legion over here going about doing their mischievous, chaotic things. Going to be opening up with a couple of, one Chaos Space Marine squad, a Rap squad, and a Chaos Lord, anticipating those shooters that will inevitably come out, as the Orks tend to do. One Shooter Boy squad out on the way. Not going to go for Big Mech straight away, as I thought, well, got lots of points to cap, so may as well cap those points first and foremost before going on to things. But you'll notice that I don't go for this point soon because I didn't notice. I did not see it. So this will be so as the games go on, we didn't play it in this order. We played it in a different order. This is the second game that we played, but I thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do casts on the games where I wasn't very good first, and as the games go on, I perform a little bit better. Because I'm not, as you all know, not exactly the most professional, high-skill player in the world, but we are seeing some Slugger Boys coming over here, popping down a little flag on this relic. You're going to see some Raptors and a Space Marine squad coming in. More Slugger Boys also going to come in for emotional support. The Raptors will be able to quite handedly tie up these Slugger Boys and certainly cause them some issues. Some bolts fire from the Chaos Space Marines as well for support. But we're going to stick around. We're going to see if we can cut these lads down. In fact, actually, one Raptor looking like he's about to be killed, I think. Was he killed? Now I'm getting his health bar mixed up with a Slugger Boy's health bar, but that's fine. Shooter Boys are going to come in now for support. No big shooters on them for quite some time, but they are quite numerous. The Slugger Boys have been absolutely smashed up. The Shooter Boys are going to run away with their tail in between their legs. On the southern side, we do have some Slugger Boys trying to capture the critical location. Cultists will come over and see if they can shake them off. Probably won't be able to do it, but it'll certainly be a massive issue for them. But almost like there's a game of rugby or football, trying to get these guys over the pipes for a backhand. Just the airtime these guys get from being hit by these Raptors is quite impressive, I must say. But it will be pushed back. Now, I'm going to use this game maybe to have like a little bit of a diatribe about Orks in Ultimate Apocalypse. I do love Orks in Ultimate Apocalypse. In fact, I love Orks no matter what format they take in whatever game, because Orks are just really good fun to play. You know, loads of green lads, massive numbers, like a horde army, but you can also have them as an elite army in the later tiers when you get your flash kits and your knobs out. However, so if you're unfamiliar with how Orks work in Ultimate Apocalypse, you've got your war banners, yeah? And that's very similarly to how the war banners do in any other version of the game. The more you build, the higher your population count, the more you tech, the more Orks you can get on the field. But in Ultimate Apocalypse, they work kind of like the Necron plasma generators, in the sense that at the beginning of the game, they're very, very cheap, and the more you build, the more expensive they become. And eventually they become too expensive, but that's okay, because eventually, inside the war banner themselves, you can upgrade them so they get more population, which is a very slow upgrade. It takes you a little bit of a while, so you've got to kind of anticipate it and plan for when you need to go for those upgrades. And, you know, if they get destroyed, then you've lost not only the war banner, but you've also lost that upgrade as well. It takes a while, which confuses me greatly every time I play as the Orks. It confuses me to no end. I always get my tech increases, or my population increases, timed off a little bit swiftly. There we go. I've spotted this strategic point. Well done, Mr. Landshark, you fiendish fiend. We're going to go for some big shooters now. We have built a pile of guns over here. Going to go for that Heavy Boy armor research as well to help our longevity and staying power. And the big shooters in this do have a lot of punching stuff. So we'll see how these guys go against the Might of the Chaos Legions. But yeah, and another thing as well is that a lot of their future units, or their tier 2 units, like their tank busters and stuff, you don't get them naturally. You've got to research them in a separate building, which also confuses me. So it does make the Orks in Ultimate Apocalypse not the most intuitive race if you've only played Vanilla or Unification. They're kind of got lots of specificities just only in this kind of mod. Raptors have been shot down there. These pipes make getting a good sight of the battle quite difficult, but yeah, double big shooters. Well, they both got 4 each. And even against buildings, they do a lot of damage. So good general purpose unit are the shooter boys when you get them out in force. Chaos Space Marine's not really able to contend with it, so they are going to fall back a little bit. Are you getting anything else, Mr. Tiger Shark? You are going for Chaos Armory. I think you're in tier 2. That's my assumption. The Slugger boys rocking on over. Going to try and see if they can get that decap and the recap while the shooter boys fire away at the Chaos Space Marines, who have gone for 1 heavy bolter. Which is quite painful towards infantry, but we've got 24 shooter boys on the map at the moment. Soon, I imagine, more to be coming. There we go, the mech lab. That's where you get all your individual unit researches. So like I say, you can't get your tank busters out straight away. You do have to research them first. But I suppose, in a way, I know that I'm maybe poo-pooing it just a smidgen, but that's only because I'm just not a very good player. From perspective of highly skilled players, it does make the Orks a much more customizable faction, I suppose. It gives you a lot more tactical depth for your Orkses. Just not sure if Orks are known for their tactical depth, really. Yeah, made a mistake here. I put these guys on stand still, so only the big shooters are firing, but not the little shooters, which kind of need to get those guys involved just a little bit. But once these guys get involved, though, they'll start firing down, and the Space Marines do fall quite quickly. We're also in light cover here, so it does help us with our survivability. All the Space Marines here focusing on the knob, so he's doing a good job at tanking a lot of damage. And we are on auto reinforce and on auto research or upgrade. It scares these guys away. And now we're pushing into the chaos side of things. Slugger boys over here. We've got a mass amount of lads. Grots with their Grot leader, which helps increase their build speed, if I'm not mistaken. Raptors maneuvering around the backside. Now pushed a little bit too far. Now inside the range of a listening post. So we are going to fall back, trying to keep away from these Raptors. We don't want to stay in close combat with these guys at all, if we can help it. Especially now that our numbers have been reduced quite significantly. 1 squad of shooter boys has been reduced to 5 models. So only a grand total of 5 big shooters on the go at the moment. And the Raptors have been used really well. They are going to try and tie up the big squad of shooters rather than the little squad, giving the Chaos Space Marines time to get into position. We've also got Havoc Marine squad as well. So all these guys have got heavy bolters. Plasma pistol on the aspiring champions as well. And the Orks are going to fall quick and fast. We are going to have this listing post upgraded ASAP, and a boys hut being popped down as well, just so we can get some more lads out towards the front lines a little bit quicker. Because it is, like I say, a very long map, quite a big space, an empty space in the middle, some tank busters on the way, anticipating any chaos tank or vehicle nonsense, which, to be fair, they are now just going to go for, and a Chaos Dreadnought is on the way. Grot's trying to repair this listening post, but might not be able to do it. Although narrowly avoiding having to lose money by having that upgraded and then deleted straight away. So the tank busters are out. There's 8 apiece. Hopefully as well that their rockets are able to knock these guys about. I've gone for a Orks of Clan Nutty Fist, purely because when you go for that upgrade, you're able to research, or should I say, recruit a Mad Doc, which once you have that research, it also increases your Ork population by about, I think it's like 50%. So it's like a cheap way of like increasing your population for relatively small amounts of economy in the early games. Just got to keep him alive. Shooter Boy's trying to reclaim the centre, but the Havoc's an absolute nuisance. Slugger Boys were out capturing critical locations, but they're back. We're going to see if they can keep up with these Chaos Space Marines, but they're starting to tie up the non-Havocs rather than anything else. Chaos Dreadnought now, the saunter on in. Tank Buster's been reduced to very low numbers. In fact, now only one Tank Buster on, he's just the knob, so he doesn't have any rockets. So the Chaos Dreadnought coming in at the exact right time. No one to really take him on at the moment. And now this boy's hut, alone in the world, going to be uppercutted and punched straight in the face by these Chaos Dreadnoughts. And the boys' hut will fall down quite considerably. So I should have really mentioned this at the beginning of the match. So you might be wondering, why is it Chaos Space Marines versus Orks in the Arks of Omen campaign? So in this stage of the campaign, basically the Chaos Space Marines are going around all the way around the galaxy and are looking for different pieces of fragments for the blooming Malachors, or whatever his face is. They're looking for stuff. And so while they're looking for stuff, they're fighting lots of different factions. So this best of 3 is meant to represent them doing that, which is quite cool. Grots are getting a good few shots in. Take that, you big meanie. Look at the damage. Disgusting levels of damage coming in. Even the Grot leader is getting a few shots in there as well. Relic will be captured by the Chaos Space Marines. And what I'm thinking is, I need these Tank Busters back online. The Shooter Boys need to have all their stuff. Slugger Boys need to keep those Havocs at bay. Roundabouts on this side, we do have a Thermal Plasma Generator, which is slowly being shot down by this listening post. This Grot just having the time of his life. His trigger finger must be feeling the pressure at the moment. But yeah, it's just a bit of a duel between the Chaos Dreadnought and the Grots. Not gone for the... If I can speak. I've not gone for a big mech yet. I don't know why. Probably forgot. But that's just me. And now the Grots are running away as they have been spotted by some Chaos shenanigans. Current economies at the moment are 144 and 66 compared to 307 and 200. One thing you've got to do in Ultimate Apocalypse, which I've learned throughout this... Oh, good look at that field of green. Disgusting stuff. But yeah, one thing that I've learned through this best of 3 is that it's all well and good building up an early army, but realistically, to keep up in the game of a game of Ultimate Apocalypse, you do really need to get your economy on the go as soon as possible, which is exactly what Tiger Shark has done with this significant amount of plasma generators. Has gone for a second Desecrated Stronghold. Looks like he's also gone for a focus on corners. He is getting a Champion of Corn out. And getting some Chaos Predators as well. So actually he's already in tier 3 by the looks of things. So quite a considerable tech advantage, considering that I've only just gotten into tier 2 myself. Built some more plasma generators. Mech lab. Maybe researching some other stuff. And I've got a mech shop down here. Like I said, near the front, so I can reinforce things quickly as humanly possible. We are seeing a Chaos Temple. Oh, look at that! Look at that! My strategy surely must have been a good idea. Otherwise, no one else would have copied me. But we've got a Chaos Temple down here as well. I'm going to fast forward things a little bit as we do kind of stand around. There we go. Slugger Boys leading the charge, and just explosions everywhere. Tank Buster's going to focus on that Chaos Dreadnought, bringing his numbers down, or his health down, should I say, quite quickly. We've got missile launchers, we've got some grenade launchers from the infiltrated cultists as well. Chaos Dreadnought goes down. Big shooters. There's just a lot of fire. There is a significant amount of fire for me to deal with. I do give it a good old college try. Purge the Weak, I think that's what this ability is. Activating and absolute decimating the Orks with no chance of really getting through there. So they will fall back. And the tank... Are the Tank Busters dead? Oh, the Tank Busters... The knob has survived once again. Because that's just how he rolls. I have kept my bad doc over here. He's in range to give these guys additional health regen. I don't want to lose him, because obviously some of my population is tied up into his being aliveness. So that is something. We have got the big mech out now, so he's able to spot these infiltrated cultists. Let's have a look at them. Yep, they've got their shiny bits. They've also got lots. Look at the sheer amount of plasma guns that they've got. Every single one having some toys to play with. Even after millennia of battle, Orc slaying remains a never-changing pleasure indeed. We're also seeing the cultists over here now being equipped with 11, or 12 should I say, grenade launchers. Oh god, how much? Oh, 16 even. Oh, 13, never mind. I'm gonna say that is a lot of grenade launchers. We go for a killer can. We've upgraded them so they can have squad members in. Hoping that maybe the killer cans can just walk in. Almost as like our front line, since the Slugger Boys weren't surviving very long. Still got our Slugger Boys. Over on this side, we've sent these guys to take on the Thermoplasma Generator, which was the worst time that we could do it. Chaos Predator on the front side. Killer cans falling down in their droves. And we've also got some Khorne Berserkers, led by Khorne Lord, just going to move in and absolutely decimate everyone in close combat. Yeah, I mean, it was a good attempt. I did try, but like I said, the Orcs do confuse me a bit. The Orcs certainly give me a bit of a head scratch in the grand scheme of things. But if it's not obvious by now, the Chaos Forces win the first game. So let's move on to the second game. So here we are in game number 2. This is still a 1v1 in Ultimate Apocalypse, and this is on Riverbed. We've got me as the Eldar on the bottom side of the map. We've got Tiger Shark as the Chaos Space Marines on the top side. Gone for a little bit of a Night Lord kind of theme. He does play this game much like a Night Lord himself. The opening with the same opening of a couple of cultists, Chaos Temple, and a cheeky plasma generator in between these two structures. Whereas I'm going for some Guardian Defenders, an Aspect Portal, plasma generator. It's quite an unusual map, this. You've got lots of corridors across. You've got these weird shaped little islands separating the factions. And also we've got some listing posts on either side, as well as a relic on the bottom right and a slag deposit for each player here. So jump units, probably quite ideal on this map for their maneuverability. We're seeing double Raptors. In fact, no, we're seeing a Chaos Spike followed by double Raptors. So potential for a lot of aggression going on here as these cultists go about capturing their nearest and dearest. Gunsingers will be doing their usual stuff, and we're going to go for an Autarch, which is a wonderful Eldar hero, able to jump around, do a lot of damage in close combat, but very fragile, so got to keep your eyes on his well-being. Guardians going around capturing things. Yeah, well, I've done one of the things I always do when I play as Eldar. I forget to research Fleet of Foot. That's you see, this is why I don't play very often, and if I do play, it's always in team games, so then other people can mitigate my lack of skill. There we go, Biker Mice from Mars, strolling down as quick as he can, up and down the terrain, just practically floating across the battlefield. Will bump into this Autarch, and he gets a couple of slashes in, but the Chaos Attack Bike is going to ignore him, as I assume he'll be on some bone-singing hunting duties. And with the Chaos Raptors now being finished in the Chaos Temple, they can now just jump in, and this is an aggressive opening from Tiger Shark here. With only an Autarch on. I was going to be opening up with double Dark Reapers, as is every Eldar player's right and need, but Dark Reapers, they're tier 2 in Ultimate Apocalypse, so that confused me. So I've gone for Howling Banshees instead, because why not? You don't see enough Howling Banshees, and with Raptors in the mix, I thought these girls might be able to do some good. And they actually do pack the wallop in close combat. Will scare the Raptors away, and the Raptors will go over here and pester these Guardian Defenders. And these guys will not be able to stand up much against the Raptor onslaught. Chaos Attack Bike, half health at the moment. We've gone for a second squad of Howling Banshees as well, just for good measure. Also because we just don't see them often enough, so why not? You know? It's nice to see them entering the battlefield once every now and then. Raptors kind of just looking at that relic for now. Micro is being concentrated over onto this side. Well, for every time the Raptors knock people up in the air, I mean, potentially could have knocked them back over here, maybe. Maybe. Who knows? Chaosbat going to sit back. Cannot regen his health, though, because he is a vehicle. Howling Banshees have scared away the Raptors over on this side. So we have managed to defend ourselves. And there we go. Fleet of Foot finally being researched. Well done, mate. I know how to play the game. Fleet of Foot would have been amazing earlier on to keep up with the Raptors. But thankfully, the Howling Banshees do have a little bit of a jumping mechanic, so they are able to keep up with the Raptors just a little bit. Same with the Autark as well. Raptors will not be able to win, I believe, in a straight 1v1 against the Howling Banshees. But we shall see. There we go. Fleet of Foot has been finished. And now our potential is unlimited. We know how to do the game. We know how to play it. Burnsing has been chased around continuously by these Chaos attack bikes. He's looking... There we go. Get a little bit of a wiggle on. See if you can build this up before he kills you. And these ladies will be in hot pursuit. There's Chaos attack bike over on this side. We are seeing that the Raptors are now capping this strategic point. It's not pleasant. It's not what we wanted. Chaos attack bike now kind of just drifting away. But before coming back in, one final attack before fading into that good night. The Howling Banshees are victorious on the south side of the map, but the northern side still being occupied by Raptors. They are going to come in and see what they can do. I've sent one squad of Howling Banshees over onto this side, see if I can scare them away. While that's going on, we are going to push over onto this side and try and catch up on the economy game by seeing if there's any extra strategic points that we can go for. Autark's jumping in. And cultists, even worse than Raptors in close combat, so they won't stand up even slightly against the mighty power blades of the Howling Banshees over on this side. The Raptors are trying to ignore the Howling Banshees to the best of their ability and still go for the Burnsinger. They will take another Burnsinger down as well. And finally, we've figured it out. We've got into tier 2. We've got the Dark Reapers. Everything should be okay. Breathe a sigh of relief, boys and girls. It's a little bit of a happier situation going on here. Howling Banshees. Takes them a while to kill these cultists. Their reinforcement rate is quite significant. Now the Raptors are going to come in and see if they can protect their more human friends, which is quite nice of them. Listing post trying to be built up, but not quite got any heretics nearby to do that. We do have one. Are you a heretic? You are a heretic. Is it? If I can get my camera aside. Yeah, you are a heretic coming down. So, being attempting to build it up. And the Howling Banshees, low on number now. Too many Raptors for them to deal with while they're by themselves. But we do have some Dark Reapers now moseying over. Going to open fire on these guys. Quickly bringing one model down. But even more Raptors. The real Night Lords players going on here. They're going to jump around the backside. But both of them are going to jump around. See if they can do anything about these Dark Reapers. Fleet of Foot being activated to push these, or to run away, should I say. Call to War research allows the Howling Banshees to have glowy swords now. So even more damage. I do believe it just generally increased their movement speed when in close combat. And all the good stuff, just a general all-round upgrade. It was very nice of them. Autark feeling the pinch. Like I say, is quite fragile. Does look like he will be taken down. And just, he does a backflip and falls over. So no kill animation for you, Chaos Raptors. Where are my Dark Reapers gone? Oh, they're down here. They were killing some things. One Raptor in close combat, just the way we like it. Our Dark Reapers will come back over for supporting reasons. We do have a Champion of Khorne. And lots of Chaos Raptors been shot mid-air just then. Morale has been lost for him. We are going to fall back in the hopes that the Chaos Raptors will just leave us alone. There we go. If you just ask him politely, that's what will happen, usually. Second squad of Howling Banshees, they've done the capping over here. Now they're coming back seeing what they can do. The Champion of Khorne, man, that's something to really worry about. Quite a beefy lad. There's a lot of damage in close combat. But hopefully we can keep our Dark Reapers separated from him. And Banshees over here, keeping those cultists at bay. Raptors still going for it. But we will fall behind this listening post in hopes that shooty bits can assist us in our defence. Yeah, this is a lot of money that I've had to spend on the tier 1s and tier 2s to keep these guys at bay. All the Raptors are now dead, thankfully. We've managed to get a good surround on the Champion of Khorne. It seems like we've frozen him in status by some margin of good stuff. And he is dead. Will now be turned into a fillet by the Howling Banshee. That's good. And now, a quick gay abandon, we're going to charge forward to see if we can get some revenge. A Wave Serpent being spawned in. And just a regular old Chaos Lord with a Hydra helmet. Preventing this heavy bolter from being built up. And we are just going balls to the walls, nuts to butts. We are not going to sit around. We need to do as much economic damage as humanly possible if we are going to catch up in this game. Current economies are 169 way and 50 compared to 248 and 89, so not terribly behind. We are seeing some Chaos Dreadnoughts being popped up over here. Cultist of the infiltrated variety will also be capping this critical location, which would be amazing for if they want to deep strike any Chaos Raptors behind the enemy lines. We'll be capping this stuff, catching our breath a little bit. Probably not what I wanted to do. Probably would have been a lot better just to charge in. And some Havoc Marines will be on the way. So Chaos Dreadnought for the front lines, Havocs for the back. Also going to go for that second Desecrate Stronghold for additional plasma generators. You can get 6 for every HQ unit, or HQ building, should I say. We're just approaching our 6th one. This one, well, we tried to build up earlier. It's not yet been finished. We're also going to go for a Thermo Plasma Generator, just for good measure. Wave Serpent, doing a little bit of scouting, seeing what's going on. We'll jump in as well and see what kind of situation is ongoing here. We'll notice that second Desecrate Stronghold, I think, is it within Fog of War? No, it's not, but we are seeing a couple of Heretics down here. So it is a sign of things to come. More Raptors being jumped in. Double Dark Reapers on the way. These guys just finishing capturing before coming along. And we're thinking, right, let's kill these armies first, because if we kill the armies, then we've got free reign over everything. Might be able to squeeze out a cheeky, unexpected victory. Down this side, we are seeing Chaos Dreadnought just meandering in. He's not getting involved in the big skirmish. Double heavy bolter turrets, causing some issue for our Howling Banshees, but quite durable once they've got their upgrade. We've almost slain the entirety of the Chaos Forces here. But what are you? You are a Hell Talon piece of aircraft. Takes out that Wave Serpent quite handedly. At this point now we're thinking, well, probably won't be able to take down these heavy bolter turrets and a Hell Talon with the current situation we've got, so let's focus on the listing post, maybe even a plasma generator or two. Morale's been broken on the Howling Banshees. Everyone tries to focus fire on the Hell Talon, but does very little damage. Eldar don't have much flexibility when it comes to their damage output. Since we've got no fire dragons or anything like that, we are going to have to run away from all this. It's a shame. I should have really focused a little bit more on the economic damage. I think that would have probably done me a lot more favours in the long term of the game. You know, I saw a potential to win. I saw, you know, a chance, man. Over here we have got, hold on, we have got a lot of, infiltrated cultists destroying our plasma generators one at a time. Swooping Hawks on the way. I did decide to, well, if you've got infiltrated units, I will then infiltrate my base. Take that. That's one way to make sure that you defend your base, but everyone's got keen sight in this game. In Ultimate Apocalypse, if you're within 2 meters of someone, you can see them. So all they have to do is just kind of walk up to it and just give it a sniff to be able to spot it. Kind of mitigates the whole point of getting that infiltration research in the grand schemes when you think about it. Howling Badger's coming back over. And they can see these guys once they're in close combat. Swooping Hawks, good against buildings and vehicles. Gradually taking down that Chaos Dreadnought. And there we go. Hell Talon's now coming back over onto this side. We've got a lot of firepower. We need to get the Swooping Hawks in firing range if we want anything significant to happen. There we go, Mr. Landshot. Move them in. That's much better. That's a happier health drain on the health pool of those Hell Talons. It's really annoying that I lost both these things. I was very miffed. That Tiger Shark with his Chaos Dreadnought took them out. It looks like he was trying to just ignore all this fire coming in and go for these listening shrines, but will not do him any favours. It's gone for more vehicle cap increases. More Havocs. Tier 3 as well. So yeah, just tacking up and all that stuff. 299 and 236 compared to 133 and 66. So my economy is firmly behind. Although with all the the Hell Talons, I thought, right, Nightwing, and then go for some missile launchers. But that's in tier 2 or tier 3. There we go, tier 3 on the way for us. Nightwing rolling out. So that's our idea. Counter the aircraft by bringing in our own aircraft, which in vanilla, Nightwings aren't great against aircraft, but like I say, you can give them missile launchers, which is always useful. Triple Hell Talons over onto this side, ready to flank as and when they need. But we're going for a small air fleet ourselves. We'll be able to take them on, I reckon, if we just believe in ourselves. Trying to get that decap on the critical location to prevent anyone else from teleporting in. But on this side, they see us going this way, so the Hell Talons will then just be a real nuisance and move in this side. But everything's infiltrated, so they can't really see things. And the missile launchers do a fair bit of damage. The Nightwings aren't all that durable. There we go. Two Nightwings. Yeah, the getting, or should I say, re-establishing air dominance here is their main MO. And that is the Hell Talons firmly taken care of. So we've got the anti-vehicle and anti-building, we've got the anti-infantry in close combat, and we've got the fire support in the form of Dark Reaper. So let's see if we can go over here, maybe deny more economy. Not really done anything all that much. Didn't even build up a listing post down here. I just assumed it would have been killed straight away. I've also attempted to be built up. The Nightwings are coming in. Some missile launchers firing in. Once more denying the economy for the Chaos Space Marines. No, just seeing... beg my pardon. We're now seeing double Havocs and a regular squad of Chaos Space Marines going down the right-hand side. We're also going to go for some Fire Dragons. For I am expecting a lot more vehicle stuff. But no, we're seeing some Possessed Marines instead. A Chaos Predator. Not sure if the Chaos Predator... Ah, yeah, he's got a little... Tiger Shark makes sure that there was room for Chaos Predator to maneuver out, which is quite good. Chaos Sorcerer coming to see if he can bring some Eldritch Bolts and some Chains of Torment down anyone nearby. But the Predator has been intercepted. Nightwing going to make quick work of the Predator's armour. About 2 Predators down here, so should be alright. What are the rest of you doing? Go on, Miss Landshot, push your units forward. We've got a unique opportunity here. Chaos Base is relatively undefended. He's going to try and ignore this, hoping that his Predators and stuff can defend his base. Got some more Howling Banshees rolling up after they've finished their capping business. Possessed Marines down here. Really hard to kill once they get going, but thankfully we were able to intercept them before their numbers grew too large. Listing posts all for the taking now. But Chaos Space Marines have the exact same idea. I know we've only got Swooping Hawks and Fire Dragons contend. We've got our Shrine of Wailing Doom, which is quite a nice little building. like an avatar of Cain, but, you know, it's got blue flames on him. It's pretty sweet. Nightwing's not been used at all. Miss Landshot push them forward. Swooping Hawk's also been taken down to only one model left. Need to pull him back. And Banshee's in the same kind of situation, but we managed to get that listing post down. Was tier 2 after all. Or tier 3 listing post, should I say. Now here comes the big guns. We are not prepared for this at all. This is not the unit composition you want against a mass of infantry. I was anticipating a lot of vehicle stuff. But nope, that's not what happened. So I'm just building up some more Nightwings in the hopes that they can help us. Nightwings are good against infantry, so that was the idea. On this one, we are trying to push in, but wonderfully placed heavy bolter turrets up on this ridge, preventing the Howling Banshees from getting to them. And it does seem like we've lost stuff. Can't remember how, but we did. Now we're going to go for some more Dark Reapers. Lost another listing post. If the Fire Dragons can hold these guys back for just a little bit longer, maybe we can increase the amount of Dark Reapers. Nightwings adding the firing blaze, but doesn't do that much damage to single targets, but you can notice that there was like a little bit of AoE damage going on there. The heavy armour of this infantry is going to keep them alive. Howling Banshees will run back over. Jump straight into the melee. Managing to type 2 squads there. Dark Reapers. Now 4 squads in total. Bringing down some big shuriken fire. And on this note, Chaos Predators, as well as some more Khorne Berserkers, are rolling forward. Howling Banshees has been taken care of. And it's a slow death for me. Slow death for me. So that's 2 wins. Overall, Tiger Shark does win this, but don't you worry, boys and girls. Just for the themes and just for the memes, we're going to play all 3 games. You can watch me continue on my wonderful playing streak here. Like I say, not a professional. I do casts. I'm not a player. We lose our base. So yeah, cool, let's move on to the final game. Okay, and so for the third and final game, we are on Hain's Demise. We've got me playing as Imperial Guard on the south side, and we have got Tiger Shark once again as the Chaos Space Marines on the northern side. He's going to be opening up with a couple of cultists. Same build order as the previous 3 games, or the previous 2 games, should I say, as I'm going to be going for a couple of conscripts, an infantry command, and a plasma generator. So this is the first game we played, and for some reason the first game was the one that I put the best showing in. So we'll do I win? Do I lose? Who knows in the grand scheme of things, but we'll see if I can at least claw back one kind of victory against the Dark Forces here today. It's quite an exciting game considering that the map, again these maps you don't normally see in cast because people don't tend to play them. This one I think mainly because jump infantry is probably a little bit too strong. Both players are separated not by much space and only by this one crack in the map. Got relics either side quite close, and on the back side we've got a couple of critical locations. A grand total of 1, 2, 3, 3 strategic points. So 4 listing post opportunities if you include the relic there. So not huge in the grand scheme of things. Actually, hold on. Oh, sorry about that. I've been casting for about 3 hours and completely and totally forgot that drinking water and going to loo is probably quite useful for a human being to do every now and then. Such is the tawdry life of being a Dawn of Warcaster. Anyway, we've got some Imperial Guardsmen Riders coming out, and they will anticipate this Chaos attack by it coming around, so they'll get a good surround on him, start stabbing him with the stabby bits. Send them back home. At least I hope they'll send them back home. Those poor horses, that is not a way a horse should be treated. Blooming heck. Soon to be turned into glue, these guys. Morale instantly broken. But they're going to keep on going. They're going to be reinforced. Going to get a sergeant in there as well. Being spotted by the Imperial conscripts. Probably doing more damage from friendly fire than anything else. But, hey-ho, that's totally fine. They don't actually do friendly fire. It's just a little bit of headcannon that I have. Their accuracy ain't great. Their actual damage output isn't amazing. We've got some fully qualified guardsmen coming out soon, so that should be able to help in the range department. So yeah, I'm thinking, what's going on in my head at the moment is that, well, this was the first game, so I wasn't on the back foot at this point. I was feeling fresh, feeling confident. Thought to myself, hey, well, I like horses. Horses are good for harassment. We'll harass and build up the economy, which is... It's weird that I thought about that for the first game. And then for the second game and the third game, I didn't. I don't know why, but that's the way it works. That's what it do, Yugi. That's what it do. Chaos attack bike going to be repaired by the heretic. That's actually quite a quick repair rate as well, which is nice. So now we're going to focus on the heretic instead, give him a good stab in before turning our attention to someone else. Chaos bike spinning around once again. Like Madonna, he's spinning around, move out of his way. I think that's Madonna. Is that Kylie Minogue? Too old to remember anyway. We've got these Imperial conscripts just been slapped down by the Chaos Lord. One at a time. It's not a fun time for anyone, but the Chaos Bike, ever elusive, always avoiding things. And the cultists here going to be a meat shield, hopefully keeping those horses at bay. Imperial Guardsmen trying to get that decap on the relic. Only 3 moles left there. They are auto-reinforcing themselves there. Giving the relic a little bit of a salute. And there we go, that decap has been achieved. I'm going to try and recap it, but no, there we go. Run away while you still have life to live. Horses are also going to abandon the guardsmen. In fact, actually, I do believe that they all get... Do you all get killed? Nah, you all... some of you managed to survive. Not many of you. But this guy being punted across the battlefield. Absolutely insane. We are seeing a tier 2 for me over on this side, I do believe, question mark. All the critical locations have been captured by my conscripts on the backside. And the horses, they're not giving up. They're sticking around. They're here for the long haul, baby. One horse having his own ideas about what to do with his life. And we'll decide to have a look at these critical locations. They take ages to cap. So by decapping them, it's causing the Chaos player a little bit of an inconvenience. These horses really struggling with the spinny nature of the Chaos attack bike. They're going to leave him alone. They've seen this Chaos Lord almost charging in. They're thinking, right, well, we can't win an honest 1v1 engagement, so why don't we just continue this capping and decapping debacle. Cultists over here will be harassed and harried. And these guys, go attack them. There we go. Get them in the stabber. Managing to kill them very quickly. They're not being reinforced at all, so they'll be annihilated. And now the Chaos attack bike has got no spinny thing left. That's on cooldown, so they've surrounded him. And they're going to get him good, get him proper, get some revenge on him. Although losing another horsey in the process. There we go. He goes to sleep on the bike. And then we get that decap. So well done. Well done, team. Good job, horses. Tier 2 now for Tiger Shark. He is going for his Hellsmith and a Machine Pit. Hellsmith, much like a regular builder unit, except for they can repair and rebuild and build things really quickly. So for us, what we're doing is we've gone one squad's gone for double field medic. So anyone nearby them should be able to be healed up. We've got a Commissar in there as well to keep everyone motivated. Though I don't know whether... So, Commissar's in here, and he could shoot people, obviously, to keep the morale up. But I don't know if he can execute the medic, or whether he prioritises killing the guardsman straight away. Oh, wait, we've also got a anti-tank support in this unit as well. Just in case we see any vehicular nonsense. Plasma guns being researched on these guys. And the Commissar helping the... Oh, almost looked like he was helping the Chaos Space Marines there for a bit. Assault Tank, Cronus Pattern Chimera, strolling in, little defensive blades, or paddles, or whatever you would call them, on the side of his hull there. Yeah, much like a Chimera, but a little bit more shooty. think it's got one less transport spot in there as well. That's what we've got. And the horses are coming back. Just the absolute frustration of dealing with the cavalry of the Imperial Guard. Gonna go for that decap. Will take him a little while though. But over on this side we've also got some renegades. So I do believe that the cultists... now, I can't remember, is it unification or is it Ultimate Apocalypse where you can replace your cultists with renegades? I mean, these cults won't be replaced obviously because they've already been out, but... I can't even remember. Not for the life of me. By the way, we're pushing over on this side. We've killed a listening post. And this is a mighty fine spot to be in. Just need to bring the guardsmen forward. Chaos Space Marines have gone for double missile launches. It'll do a fair bit of damage to the Chimera. We'll pull him back as long as the guardsmen can take care of the Havoc squad. It should be alright, but this is a lot of firepower to deal with. Listening post and double Havocs. I mean, that's just a lot of heavy bolters. And over on this side, the Renegades are coming forward. They are armed with double mortars. Which, huge area of effect have those bullets got. Also going to see a Chaos Dreadnought. Tiger Shark, known for his love of Dreadnoughts all day long. One Chimera goes down, looking to get that second listing post offline. Using those sandbags to give them some heavy cover advantage. But the second Chimera goes down, only the boys left. The boys will decide, hey, this is, you know what, we've done enough, we've killed 2 listing posts. That's good enough for me, and they were both upgraded, so, yep, we'll take that. Over here, slowly but surely, my listing post is struggling a little bit. We've got a mechanised command on the way, double Chimera assault tanks also going to be brought forward, and a heavy weapons increase just for good measure. We're going to go for more horses as well. Horses seem to work at the beginning, and we need something to take care of those infiltrated renegades. Imperial Guardsmen... oh, sorry, not Imperial Guardsmen. We've got a special weapons team armed with some melter guns, focusing their fire on the Chaos Dreadnought, but not enough firepower to take him down quickly. It's not like those tank buses we saw earlier on in the first game. Will be chased away all day long. So we'll fall back towards this heavy cover. We've got to upgrade the listening post, but although they probably won't help us in the grand scheme of things against a Dreadnought. This one Sergeant on fire. Sad time for him to be in. Dreadnought pushing forward a little bit too far. Not got that much support from his Chaos Space Marines at the moment. Needs to bring them forward. There we go. Bringing them forward. Commissar being quite loose and free with his execution ability. The special weapons teams will work their way down. Infiltrated cultists over onto this side. We have managed to push these guys away with a combination of horses and assault chimeras. So the horses will now decide to assist on our left flank. Dreadnought almost down to 0 health. But that's still a meaty target to take down. Commissar taking a few auto cannons to the chops. But the horses stride in. Not very durable, out of horses. So need to tie up as much as they can and get these assault chimeras to do their work. Moving outside the heavy cover now, so it should do a lot more damage to them. Imperial Guardsmen regaining their numbers. Special Weapons Squad, have you got any melter guns? No, you lost all your upgrades in that engagement, so we'll need to re-research them at some point. Problem with the special weapons teams is that they basically act as like regular guardsmen until you give them their upgrades. They've got nothing special about them, so once they come out, you've then got to wait a little bit before they're actually useful for their purpose. Chaos Dreadnought over here has got a multi-melter ready for those chimeras. The horses struggling to move around these guys, actually. A little bit of pathing issues. But see, the thermoplasma generator will decide to go for that instead. as the special weapons teams fire away at the Chaos Dreadnought. I'll bring them down a little bit quicker, now that they've got their numbers. We've also got some regular guardsmen with some melter guns as well, just for good measure. Anti-tank squad firing away as much as they can. Not sure what I'm doing with special weapons teams there. On this side, the cultists and renegades are continuing their reign of terror over onto this side. Current economies are 293 and 182 compared to 267 and 166. Look at that! I know the economy works. At the beginning of the best of 3. Hey ho. It's the way it works. It's the way it works, I'm afraid. Got a Vindicator, which will be a major inconvenience for our infantry here. Not a pleasant engagement for anyone, in all honesty. But we have taken it down for the power of the Imperial anti-tank weaponry. And now, a bit of deja vu. And the exact same situation as before, except we've all got bigger toys to play with. I've started getting the Lehman Russ. Oh, sorry, that's not Lehman Russ, that is a Hellhound. A double Hellhounds, in fact. Going to burn the lightly armoured infantry of the Chaos Space Marines. Also get your scanner down as well, just so we can spot them. Our push is not nearly as impressive as the previous one. Chaos Havoc's doing a great job at keeping these guys at bay. We're also the man with a flag. The flag man was taken down. It's quite emotional. No opening fire with plasma guns. No matter how much Ceramite armor you have, the plasma guns are going to be knocking you down fairly substantially. More sandbags for additional defences at the range departments. And most of these Chaos Space Marines aren't really firing back. Relying too much on their Havoc allies to do anything of substance. I've got double Hellhounds trying to spot these guys. There we go. A bit of a misplaced scanner, but I mean, a bad heretic is a good heretic in my opinion. Double scans going down. And yeah, the renegades will be knocked around. Do have a general in the ranks as well. Just supporting. In Ultimate Apocalypse, he doesn't get his regular friends. We've got to attach him to a squad. I'm sure he does things as well. And the siege continues. We are getting a Chaos Vindicator from the Chaos Space Marines. Hellhound's continuing. It's a slow battle to get rid of these renegades. Guerrilla warfare. It's like the Helmand province, just no real way to win there apart from just constantly breaking people down. And with a addition of another Vindicator, got no other option but to fall back and hope that the Chaos Space Marines leave us well alone. So what's our current situation at the moment? We've got a couple of mechanised commands. We're going for a Lehman Russ, so we are in tier 3. Also got a communications tower. I was thinking that, well, there's a small ridge here. Why not send some planes over? And Mr. Tiger Shark had the exact same thought process, going for double Hell Talons, which is going to be a little bit tricky for us. We've not got our... Well, we've got a large string of plasma generators here, but we don't have that many plasma generator farms. It's quite easy to kill a big group of plasma generators in Ultimate Apocalypse because the amount of damage to buildings that plasma generators do is quite substantial. So if you can kill a couple of plasma generators, there's like a little bit of a chain reaction that kills a lot of them. That's why I keep on spreading them out as much as I can. Lehman Russ now out. Should be able to nicely take away this Chaos Vindicator if given the time and inclination. And that's going to be our plan. We're just going to build up as many Lehman Russes as humanly possible. Just going to go for an industry command, just for good measure. Next tier on the way, full-scale war. And it's just a case of, it's quite the back and forth on this side. We push forward, we've got tanks, then the Chaos take out the tanks, and they get their own, so then we get pushed back, and this battle's really going to be decided based on who has the heaviest armour. These guys have spotted a Hell Talon, but I've realised, oh shit, we can't fire upwards. And this guy is also not firing downwards for whatever reason. Being awfully polite, but, you know, there's some shenanigans going on over there. Triple Leman Russes. If we can't win with one tank, can we win with three? So opening fire, best as you like. The power of the Leman Russ cannot be underestimated. Incredibly versatile and good tank. Although, when it comes to pathing, it does struggle a little bit. Got a Chaos Lord with his Scythe of Death. Probably not what it's called, but that's something. And he will be deaded. But buying these guys enough time to set back, maybe build up a heavy bottle turret or two. We go for a Chaos Predator. And double Hell Talons in over here. Leman Russ will try and scare them away. They'll do an alright job, but we'll do an amazing job. Also going to go for some Marauder Bombers. Hopefully going to take on the Hell Talons, but not before they do a bit of damage to our plasma generators. Leman Russ is continuing to push in. Taking out the Space Marines one at a time. Guardsmen should really move up. Provide some firing support, but they want all the Havocs dead first. The Havocs are what's causing the main problems with the autocannons and the heavy bolters. Absolutely mowing down all forms of guardsmen. And not only do we have the Hell Talons, which have now been taken out, we've also got these Possessed Marines, which are just really difficult to kill. They've got lots of health per model. So if you don't focus fire them down, they'll just stay forever. A constant supply of Leman Russes from both mechanized commands. Hopefully should be able to deal with those guys. Push continues, now got a Chaos Predator. The answer to the Leman Russ. There's a little, well, actually does a significant more amount of damage if the unit card is to be believed. What, 350 and 40, or 350 and 400 compared to 234 and 286. Then again, unit cards, as we always say, not to be 100% trusted. I've also gone for a Taurox. I didn't know what this did, but it made me think of Company of Heroes, and I wanted one, so I got one. Also, don't like the wheels on Tauroxes. Like tracks, but not quite. Don't know how to feel about them. Double Marauder Bombers. Ready and willing to fire. So while we're fighting on this side, we'll give Tiger Shark a taste of his own medicine by moving some stuff onto the other side. Just need to keep their attention over here. Whether we've got enough to stand the test of time, though. Leman Russes are quite low on health at the moment. We are going to move things around, but pathing does us again and again. And the Marauder Bombers, sadly, get stuck here. I don't know why they get stuck. They just do. So that's them now. They are now officially really expensive turrets that take up squad cap, which is nice to see. Well, this whole side of the base is open. It's free real estate for the Leman Russes. So what a treat. What a bit of revenge for the Imperial Guard. Chaos Forces over here aren't going to surrender. They're going to continue their push. A Chaos Sorcerer in their ranks now. Chaos Predator are a bit low on health, but that's fine. We've got no dedicated anti-vehicle stuff apart from these Leman Russes. Seems that they're focusing a lot more on... I know that they are focusing on the Chaos Predator. Good thinking from me there. So it's going to move in. This guy doesn't do any damage. He helps infantry reinforce. I've got no idea why I sent him over on this side. Probably got the wrong memo. Some more Possessed Marines coming out. Take on that flanking force. Ugh. Pardon me again, I do apologise. Oh, General over here. Smited down by the Chaos Lord. Glorious hand-to-hand combat, but the Chaos Predator is down. Torx is over. Helping everyone reinforce a little bit better. Look at the speed on that. The special weapons teams will be back to full fighting force in no time. They're going to go for some more melter guns. Just in case any more vehicles on the way. And a third Leman Russ approaching with extreme prejudice. But yeah, I mean, we're holding them off. Leman Russes could do with moving up a little bit more. There we go. Just smidge your way over. Missile launchers in the form of a heavy turret. Beating these guys up. Oh, do we have a... Oh, we've got some basilisks. For artillery support. Wanted to see if I could get some earthshaker rounds on, considering that our economies are redonkulous. We've got to that wonderful sweet spot in Ultimate Apocalypse where both players have got enough economy where they don't have to actually worry too much about what they're spending. They don't have to worry about what they are spending it on. Which I think is peak Ultimate Apocalypse, really. And both players get their heads around the economy side of things. Got only 2 Leman Russes left. Double basilisks. Firing away. And now the assault once again begins on this side of the map. The special weapons teams are being absolutely murdered. No chance of them living a long and happy life. There we go, squad wipe right there. Oh, never mind, there were 3 stragglers. They were late to roll call, and through that they've managed to survive. Got a sneaky squad of possessed marines on the bottom right hand side, just in case they want to go about and do anything. Last of the Leman Russes have been taken care of, which does free up those Chaos Predators for other actions. Thermoplasma generator was destroyed earlier on, but then almost rebuilt, but we're going to destroy it again. Don't want the Force of Chaos having any form of economy if we can deny it. Chaos Dreadnought being made quick work of, but another one will be teleported in. But quadruple Leman Russes, very hard to deal with. Over on this side, possessed marines are moving in. We are turning our basilisks over and see if we can sort them out. Heavy weapon suppression team. We're setting up. He says, oh no, he's going to engage close combat. That's not what you want. There we go. Very polite of the possessed marines to not murder him. Was outside of his setup. Now we're going to turn around, open as much fire as humanly possible on these guys. And the possessed marines drop like flies. Which is always good to see. He's going to be teleported in. It's not going to be pleasant, I imagine. It's going to be what? Ah, Chaos Dreadnought. Only a couple of slaps from that should be able to tidy away a basilisk. A lot of firepower from all different varying sides. Also going to go for some heavy weapon support teams just because a little bit more mobile. Over on this side, Havoc Marines sitting in the heavy cover. But we do now have, what are you? You are a... What are you? What kind of Baneblade are you? You are a Stormlord. I'm thinking going for something that'll take on the infantry. Huge bullets. I thought it would also take on heavy infantry as well, but apparently not. Yes, Predators now out of position. It's too much firepower coming in. We have lost 1 Basilisk there. I'll send them running away. Fresh Chaos Predator coming in. And give themselves each of a little bit of a peck on the cheek, a little kiss goodbye. Stormlord very low on health now, actually, taking about half health, and Chaos Marines are still sticking about. This is not really what I wanted. Basilisk continuing to fire and provide some firing support. I do believe I go for some Earthshaker rounds in this bit. I can't remember if the symbol appears in the replays, but we shall see. But just a brawl going on here. No one backing down. No one really taking any damage. There we go. Was that an Earthshaker round? Maybe? I don't know. Or was that just the Chaos Predator blowing up and the additional explosion made it look like one? No one's backing down. Everyone's holding on. Some more Chaos Terminators teleporting in behind the basilisks. To bring their health down quite significantly. I thought to myself, right, okay, well, one way to keep these guys from doing anything serious is by building lots of conscripts and just charging them in. We've got the firepower in the form of some Leman Russes, so really we just need someone to take their firepower offline. Stormlord has gone down. Should have really brought a Tech Priest engine seer over to repair that, but I didn't. So there. But lots of red on the floor, lots of mash. Got double Leman Russ executioners on the south side. The unit card says Titans, buildings and vehicles, but I can attest that they're also quite good against infantry as well. Over on this side, another potential strike from the flanks. But we're ready now. We've got in place defences, 2 heavy weapons teams, and of course the usual gubbins with the listening posts. So we're going to come forward. We're ready for another push after narrowly surviving that last one. Big firepower on the way. I mean, these Chaos Terminators, what are you armed with? You are armed with some plasma cannons. Do a mean bit of damage against the Leman Russes. Conscript as well, not surviving all that long. Not having that much of an impact as I was hoping. They can't exactly type a Chaos Land Raider or a Predator. Could have really done with some deep striking Stormtroopers maybe. Over on this side, the Chaos Forces are still pushing in. Or they've started pushing in even. Plasma cannons being a really big no-no. Relatively drop on them, so that's cool. Also got our industrial commands now, giving us some extra blue money as we require it. We're going to go for Imperial victory. So at this point I'm thinking, right, well, I can't seem to break through his defences. He can't seem to break through to mine. So let's see if we can get some sort of nuclear weapons on the go. I imagine, are you researching into anything nuclear? Not at the moment. So, potential for me to maybe blast him all the way. A Storm Sword now. Combination of flamers and a big shooty cannon to defend over onto this side. Heavy weapons teams soon to be destroyed. Torok still chilling out. And one Leman Russ with the cigar barrel. We're going to survive. Torok does a backflip. It's very sad to see. Quite emotional, really. Now I'm just sending in tanks one by one. That's not a good idea, Mr. Landshot. That's what some of you should never, ever do. I'm just trying to keep them occupied for as long as possible while I try and finish off the rest of the forces of chaos over here. Once the storm... Is it Storm Sword? Once the Storm Sword comes in... Look at the range on that guy. Doesn't do amazing damage against Terminators, to be honest. Not bad looks of things. Once all the Leman Russes pop, another Vanquisher as well. That'd be a grand total of 4 tanks, but take it down so quickly. The amount of damage coming out from these guys. Because, I mean, what have you got, Mike? As well as plasma guns. Yeah, you've got las cannons now, which do a lot more damage and a lot more accurate than your regular missile launcher. You're going to keep the Storm Sword back. Volker gunship trying its best, but dying more or less instantly. Heavy weapons team's trying to set up. And they will start opening fire, but there's a paltry amount of fire for the amount that they've got to deal with. But Stormblade now in. We're just going for every single different kind of Baneblade at this point. So one firing big mighty plasma, the other one firing big mighty cannons. These guys are now surrounded. Land Raider goes down. Leman Russ is managing to survive for a little bit longer now that thingy's gone down. And we're just on auto build for Leman Russes at this point. We can't get enough of them. The more Leman Russes, the happier we are. But stalwart, final stand. No point in trying to retreat these guys. They'll die anyway. We've got a vulture gunship just bouncing up and down. The Chaos Terminators teleporting onto the right hand side. Just like if they need to retreat, they can. But we've got some Ogrins in the middle, beating the living heck as the last remaining Chaos Terminator in the middle. He says, yep, this is the last Terminator in the middle. Still got some on the side there. Chaos Dreadnought finishing off that Storm Sword. Now the Stormblade, we'll see what it can do. So managed to defend. Well done us. I mean, well done us until infiltrated Chaos Dreadnoughts come in. We don't see them as of yet, though. I think Tiger Shark might have put them on hold your ground stance just to give us a false sense of security. Terminators just don't go down, do they? So much fire. And they're just standing there like it's a rainy day. Even the Ogrins losing morale before they do. Must be a bit noisy for them, to be fair. That is, I mean, how many different fire streams is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different units firing in that one particular spot. No, that's not great for them, but they die. And now it's time for the force of the Imperium to do what I like to call a little bit of a pushback. He says, can't actually remember what goes on from this point onwards. Nuclear weapon center on the way. Like I say, if you can't beat him in a siege, may as well just nuke him. A tried and tested method. Going to go full Oppenheimer here. And more Chaos Dreadnoughts being summoned in. And they're just going to get to work now. They know we're coming. So best do the damage that they can. Not sure why this dude's still standing around though. He should really be getting to his wicked and foul business. We just think, right, be gone, Chaos Terminators. You're ruining our plasma generator farm. You're buggering it all up for us. We can't really see him. There we go. I was waiting for a scanner to come in so I could see him. And then everyone shoots him, which is good. Well done, us. Well done, team. What's going on down here? Got another Chaos Land Raider on the way. Also a desecrated castle, which is where the Chaos Space Marines get their big zapping stuff. Also have the Gate of the Dark Mechanicum. Lots of gnarly super units can be spawned, but we finally take care of the schedule of the infiltrated Dreadnoughts. Not sure how Dreadnoughts can be infiltrated, but I'm not here to complain. More being teleported in, but we anticipated it. Blasting him around. And there we go, take that. You incorrigible machinery. There's not much to say about strategy. It's just a meat grinder, is what this is. All it is, a huge meat grinder, in which our main objective is just to outlive our enemies. So I was thinking, well, if the conscripts weren't surviving all that well, maybe Ogrins might be a thing. Attach the priest to them as well, in hopes that the priestly abilities could keep them alive. But double Land Raider now. It's being a bit of a problem. Ogrins are going to try and get in there, but don't really have the staying power of the the Obliterators, sorry. I've almost tripled the health of an Ogrin squad. Once again to close combat, they do a fair bit of damage. But their longevity is not amazing. Numerous Vanquisher firing across the river. Should have really actually formed a little line and maybe did some pot shots there. Stormblade finally coming out over here, but while this is going on, around my nuclear weapons center, they are being... Well, the Dreadnought's attacking again. So I've gone out of the base, and I've got to bring all my stuff back over. See if I can take care of them. Massive inconvenience, but the Chaos Land Raider says, you know what, fair play. I'll see you in a bit. You come back when you're ready. Thankfully, though, the nuclear weapons center is quite a chunky building. It's also been repaired by a lot of Tech Priest engine seers. I see another Stormblade out. So double Stormblades. Dual Akimbo, some would say. And absolute death and destruction for everyone here. Chaos Land Raider spots the field command as it's going for Apocalypse Tier 5. Once we get that Tier 5, we'll be able to get our big nukes out. But sadly, we might potentially be losing this. Human Russians need to move forward, see if they can defend our island, whatever the cost may be, but no. That is, that's dead, and that sets us way, way back in the economy department. So in the tech department. So this is going to start researching it again. We did start constructing our super weapon before the tech was lost, so it's not the end of the world. It will take a very long time for us to research it there. So we've got plenty of time to kill while we're waiting for that. Tactical control also goes down. So need to rebuild that somewhere if we want our long-range scanners anymore. Double Land Raiders. Sorry, double Stormblades. There's a Land Raider on a couple of Terminators. Who will win? Well, apparently the Obliterators... Oh, sorry, these Obliterators even. Monster armor. A lot of damage to bring out to anything that they see. They're not picky about their unit types. They'll have a stab at anyone. More Dreadnoughts being teleported in. We've also got Dreadnoughts down here. It's just raining Dreadnoughts. Rip off the roof, stay in bed. Something like that. So even if we do take all this stuff down, we are losing most of our economy on the southern side by these infuriatingly deceptive and invisible Dreadnoughts. Land Raider being defeated. Got double Dreadnoughts there. Firing off their last cannons. And after all the GG, I've seen the writing on the wall. I've lost all my plasma generators. I've lost my tech. That's no good, but at least I did better in that one. Like I said, I think in Ultimate Apocalypse, what you need to get your head around is that to get into this stage of the game, you just need the economy. If you don't build up your economy, there's no point in going for it. So I'm still learning, and you know, watching games being played is completely different from actually playing the games themselves. But you know, well, it's all one big journey. But yeah, if you want to take part in games like this, not only just for like Arks of Omen stuff, but also like themed games, faction wars, anything like that, please do come on over to the Discord. I'm not often there, I'll be honest, as I'm quite busy, but always people like organising games and stuff. It's always pleasant to get involved. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, so we're now going to go on to Karl Franz, where he's going to explain the story and stuff, and all that jazz. So anyway, I'll see you all in a bit.
Even as Vashtor laboured to construct additional Arks, Abaddon unleashed those he had already built upon the galaxy. More than a dozen Arks made up this initial onslaught, each accompanied by a flotilla of Chaos vessels in dark contrast to the fleets of the Indomitus Crusade. Notable assaults launched in this first wave were conducted against the ice moons of Korbrak and the industrial sprawls of Vaingloria. After weeks of bloody siege on the shrine world of Loom 4, Iron Warriors Warsmith Jagra, commander of the Ark of Omen Ogre, tore open the world's innermost reliquarium to secure a key fragment which took the form of an ancient fire-blackened cogitator bank held in a stasis field. On Hasp, Alpha Legion agents penetrated an ancient dig site to secure a key fragment that appeared to be a meteorite embedded in the planet's bedrock. Upon recovery of a key fragment, they were presented before the warp portal aboard each Ark and claimed by Abaddon and Vashtor. On Agamedes, the Ark Bloodmaw and its escorts began a month-long conflict against the maniples of Graia that saw entire planets depopulated. Amidst the Rasputar cluster, the bane of life plunged into an ongoing war between the leagues of Votan of the Cronus hegemony and the Orks of Wa, Skullcracker. At the Serpessa Nebulae, Flensmaster Thavak of the Night Lords found his Bale fleet beset at every turn by Eldar of Ulthwé and Dark Eldar of the Cabal of the Iron Thorn. By the time the second wave of Arks of Omen was launched, the corrupted hulks were now present across every Imperium segmentum and many major war zones. Sometimes they ignored Imperial holdings altogether, targeting worlds inhabited by Orks, Tyranids, or even other heretic factions to claim their prize. Had it not been for the presence of the Arks themselves, Imperial authorities would not have placed these incidents as part of a larger pattern. Famed Lord Inquisitor Koteas of the Ordo Malleus received word from the Eldar of the larger Chaos plan. The Inquisition responded accordingly with investigation teams to the Bale fleet's true purpose, and while several Arks were boarded and purged at great cost during Imperial counterattacks, many more continued to wreak havoc upon the galaxy.